Hi everyone, it's Michael. Welcome to Aimed Intentions. I'm here today to review a quick video with you. I'm going to be out of town this week, so this will probably be my only live stream of the week, which is okay. But today I want to talk about the 12 cognitive biases that are holding you back. I found this psychology review on X that I thought I'd share with you. And this is not cognitive biases in the sense of the ethical racial debate. This is more of biases from a psychology perspective, and understanding them will help you be better in helping you be aware around the world and how you interact with it. So let's just get understanding. So, 12 cognitive biases that are holding you back. The status quo bias, preferring things to stay the same. So this is resisting new software because the old one is more comfortable. This is your bias of inertia, the idea that you don't necessarily want to progress in your life because it's comfortable. So don't be comfortable. If you're comfortable, you're probably not improving. Confirmation bias, favoring information that supports our beliefs. Yeah, I mean, that's so true. Uh, so in hospital medicine, there's this idea that uh, people want to discharge patients early in the day, but all the supporting literature actually refutes that. So that's the opposite of confirmation bias. If so, they're working on all the confounders and the studies that they've done, but you can imagine that people are keep on pursuing these studies because they want the confirmation bias. Anchoring bias, relying too much on the first piece of information. This happened to me whenever I was a researcher in college. Um, we were working on RNA strains and trying to figure out bulge loops for any of those of you who are in the science world. And what happened is whenever I was doing my assay, I got one piece of information and I relied on that so much that I kept on pursuing study after study after study. Uh, and then I ultimately found out that I had to rethink how I had to approach the assay as the studies became more complex because it wasn't quite right of a theory. I was anchoring too much on that. This also happens in medicine uh, when uh, you're diagnosing a patient and you get stuck on one diagnosis because it's the first piece of information that you came up with. Uh, and it actually clouds your judgment and seeing the world uh, or seeing the patient fully and being able to make the correct diagnosis because you're eliminating other possibilities because you're anchoring so much on one piece of information. The example they give here is mentioning your previous salary in a new job negotiation may influence the final offer, even though the position could justify a higher salary. Yeah. Attribution errors, attributing others' actions to their character, not circumstances. I mean, this happens a lot with quality improvement. Um, you don't want to if someone comes up with an error that occurs or a patient safety related event. Um, People will say, "Oh, it's the person who reported; it's their fault," but that's not it. They're just making it aware of the situation so that the system can improve. Groupthink, conforming to the general opinion that the group over critical thinking out of fear of contradicting or being alienated. They give the example of agreeing with a risky investment just because the majority supports it. They've done studies on this, and that people will present a fact that is versus a falsity, and the researchers will be studying how people adapt if they have an overwhelming majority that supports the falsity over the fact, and people tend to conform to what the group thinks. You can see how that applies to the political uh, nature in America currently. Hindsight bias is overestimating how uncertain events were before they happened. I feel like every mother-in-law has this one. Claiming you knew it all along after a successful product launch, despite initial uncertainty. Availability heuristic, judging events by how easily examples come to mind, making disproportionate investments based on overestimated likelihood of success. Yeah. Framing effect conclusions are influenced by how information is presented. I mean, yeah, more employees support a project with a 90% success rate rather than one with a 10% failure rate. That's just marketing. I learned that a lot in my marketing in my business classes. The halo effect, letting overall impressions influence specific judgments. Yeah, this is the example of the loud person in class who everyone thinks knows everything, but they're actually failing. Self-serving bias, attributing success to oneself and failures to external factors. I mean, it's good personal negativity bias, giving more weight to negative experiences. Yeah, I feel like this is very common in today's world, um, especially with the mental health crisis and sunk cost fallacy. Continue to invest in something simply because we've already done it for a long time. Yeah, I feel like this happens to people who invest into crypto, not financial advice. I was in Las Vegas about a month ago, and this was happened to one of my buddies who felt like they could come back up to breaking even because they already put so much money into it. So that was what I wanted to review today. Looks like this gentleman, Benjamin Bargatze, uh, he has a website, so we can attribute this resource to him. I have this pinned to my page. It's aggregated by this book therapy. What else there? Okay, great. All right, well, that's all I have today. Like I said, I'm going to be gone the rest of the week, so I probably won't have any more live streams, but catch up with y'all next week. This is Michael with Intentions. Take care. Bye.